We're here at Ewok Lake with Ben Burt, my mentor and sound designer.
I'd like to introduce Matthew Wood, who has been my partner for many years on these films. A film student, and I went out to the Universal Studios where George Lucas had his office at that time.
Okay.
It was a bungalow. I started with the Wookiee. I read the script. I went through and marked everywhere, underlined where there would be a sound effect.
Yeah.
You know, I noticed that there was tons of
yeah.
things in it, Wookiees and Jawas and laser guns and Darth Vader and so on. And so I went back and asked them, would you want sounds for all of these things? And they said, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, sure, go ahead. And just began a expedition to gather things. That's how it started. That's how the library started.
Yeah.
Which, what do we have today? How many shots?
There's almost 1 million sounds in our library now, but this
A million?
Yeah. So
And I did about
You're
999,000.
the inception of that. Yeah,
sure.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. My first day out here was probably about 25 years ago. I was 17 years old, and there was a posting for a video games tester. At some point, George Lucas was making this program called SoundDroid. So he should just get somebody from the video games division. They have testers over there, and so I was nominated to come over here.
Yeah, I owe so much to you because I was in the analog world, as you know, cutting with tape and scissors and splices and then film and you know all of that. And as we moved into the digital realm of sound editing and eventually mixing and then recording and all, you were the one that mentored me through that. You know, it was easy to. You did.
Yeah.
I mean, I was giving you my usual views artistically about how the film should be done, and
I think it started with you asking me to help you with your sampling, your synclavier sampler, and it was like you getting asked about the Wookiees. I was asked to can you help me set up my synclavier for the new Star Wars movie? And I was like, sure. And then I think I eventually moved into your office, and we were there for years working on those movies.
Of course, over the years and all the hundreds of recording expeditions, we've gone out on, often you go out with a goal in mind.
Yeah.
You know this. And
Sure.
For instance, I went to White Sands Missile Range once, and I had an appointment to record various military and scientific rockets taking off, and I was expecting to get these huge, rumbling, exciting rocket engines, and they weren't all that great. They were sort of crackly, distorted sounding, poppy kind of sounds. They weren't. It didn't kind of fit the Star Destroyer or something of that sort. I was back in the motel, and I went to bed, and I heard this great rumbling sound. This is great. And I look all around. I figure it's the air conditioner is like broken or it's moving slightly. And so I put the microphone on top of the air conditioning in direct contact with it, and I get this great rumbling sound, which that ends up being the Star Destroyer.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Rather than the object of the mission.
When we were in Sydney doing the prequels, you sent me out to go record at a penguin reserve. And I remember I went and recorded a bunch of penguin mating calls down in Melbourne. Yeah. And then I went to the rainforest up in Cairns and recorded fruit bats, and some of them were fighting over a banana, and I remember coming into your office and you were mixing those together to become the Geonosians and the...
Yeah, right.
And the
penguins and fruit bats.
Penguin mating calls and fruit bats fighting over bananas. I mean, you had it all figured out from the beginning,
I knew that from the beginning. I had that figured out way ahead of time. We just was waiting for you to catch up. Star Wars was the big boost, the door that opened for my career. And I owe it to George Lucas and all the imaginative artists that contributed to those films that made the sound became a part of that, which is now sort of folklore almost. And it gave me a backbone for a whole career.
Yeah, for me, Star Wars, how it's affected my life, mainly it's given me a very unique connection to the world. We've spent so much time on these films, and we're so proud of them, and to be able to share that with people all around the world, to listen and hear and see our work is a big, as I said, just like universal icebreaker. And I think that has been, for me, my favorite part of working on the films, and just the teamwork that we have here in such a unique location. I feel very humbled by.
And even though you've advanced way beyond, being an assistant,
Right.
I still turn to you almost every day to fix something.
Yeah.
and you gladly do so. And
right. Well, I've certainly learned from you, Ben, an incredible amount about sound design and filmmaking and teamwork, which teamwork to me is one of the most important things working out here. And those things are really special to me. And I certainly would never be where I am sitting at this beautiful location here without you. So I'm very...
Well, thanks, man. And I'm here healthy and alive because of you, too.